Corrin diving. Rex, Appo Reef, Barracuda Lake and Dugong. Corrin Island is one of the most visited destinations in the Philippines, especially for its lagoons, lakes and beautiful islands. Diving in Corrin is famous for its fabulous World War II wrecks, but it's not just that. A variety of dives await you. Having the chance to see dugongs, departures for Appo Reef. Experience the unique Barracuda Lake. Explore the submerged cave of Cathedral Cave. Dives in Corrin are not the most beautiful in the Philippines, but on a one-week diving trip there is plenty to do. Corrin Diving Info. Philippine Corrin Island Tour. Second best place in the world to dive World War II wrecks, the first undoubtedly being Truk Lagoon in Micronesia. 10 wrecks, 30 to 160 meters long. Visibility never very good, between 5 and 10 meters on average. Best period for visibility, March to May. Diving at Barracuda Lake is truly unique. Departures for Appo Reef, second best diving destination in the Philippines. A sight to see dugongs. Cost of the dives really cheap. Greater than new diver. There are much better places in the Philippines to start diving: Bohol, Moalboal, Puerto Galera. If you are already open water, make sure you are comfortable in deep diving and reduced visibility. Greater than confirmed. To do, Rec plus Barracuda Lake. Greater than experienced. If you like wrecks, you won't be disappointed. You have 9 huge wrecks accessible in the same place and not that deep, 40 meters max. Introducing Corrin. Where is Corrin? Corrin is located in the province of Palawan in the Philippines. The area where Corrin is located is called the Calamian Islands. 3 main islands make them up: Busuanga, Corrin and Culian. Corrin is therefore just one of the islands in the area. But since it is the most famous, everyone associates its name with the entire area. Busuanga Island, the main and largest island. The one that has the airport and the ferries, so where you will end up. About 20,000 people. Clearly the most developed. Everything happens in Corrin Town. Corrin Town, Philippines. Corrin Town, Philippines. Corrin Island. The island of Corrin is clearly the most beautiful. It is a very rocky island composed mainly of superb cliffs filled with vegetation, bordered by small beaches and lagoons. There is no housing. Only the descendants of the natives of the time live there. It has 7 inland lakes. Its most famous places are Kayangan Lake, the one where we take the picture of Corrin that you see everywhere on the internet, Barracuda Lake, Luluyuan of his real name, and Twin Lagoon. Diving Corrin Island, Philippines. Calas Point. Corrin, Philippines. Culian Island, the least known. Habitable, but very little developed. Not a lot of info on it. Around Corrin. When you go to Busuanga, like everyone else you will be disappointed, but where are the beaches? Well, there isn't. Or a 2-hour drive west, Okam, to take advantage of the going tours. You will need to take a boat and do some island hopping, which means going from place to place by boat during the day. 3 major circuits. Kayagan Lake. Corrin Island, Philippines. The most common, the ultimate tour, north of Corrin. Kayangan Lake, Barracuda Lake, Twin Lagoon, Siete Pecado, CYC Beach. The superb southern islands, Malcapuya, Banana and Bulog. The western islands, Pass Island and Coral Garden. Black Island. If you have the time and, or want to see the most beautiful island around Corrin, organize a trip to Black Island. You go to Concepcion or Busuanga, by scooter. You rent a boat for the day and off you go. It remains my favorite island in the area. Corrin is well known for its fabulous wrecks, and for good reason. They are superb. But there are other dives to do. Departure to dive at Appo Reef. Dive with dugongs, a kind of sea cow. Dive at Barracuda Lake. Dive into Cathedral Cave. Snorkel the reefs around Corrin and north of Busuanga. Dive the wrecks of Corrin. I've done a full article about the wrecks of Corrin, so if you want more explanation, I suggest you read it. There are 10 real interesting wrecks in Corrin. Skeleton wreck, not really a wreck. 9 are Japanese World War II ships sunk on the same day, only Nanshan as an American wreck. 8 are located in Corrin Bay. 1 next to Black Island, Nanshan, and 1 north of Busuanga, Kyokuzen. Lusong Gunboat and East Tangat are the 2 smaller ones and are of less interest than the others for non-beginner divers. They range from 30 meters, Lusong Gunboat, to 160 meters, Okikawa. They are all very well preserved, covered in coral with lots of marine life. Visibility to wrecks is not very good, 5 to 10 meters on average. Corrin Olympia Wreck Diving Information Sheet. Corrin Wreck Lusong Gunboat Diving Information Sheet. The full article on the wrecks of Corrin with all the info here. Greater than Akasashima Wreck. Japanese Seaplane Carrier, 118 meters, original wreck diving Corrin Akitsushima Wreck. Akitsushima as a 118 meters long seaplane carrier which rests lying on its left side at a depth of 36 meters. The uppermost part, the hull, being around 22 meters. He has a great penetration inside his crack with very nice play of light. One of those where there is the least marine life in corals. Gorgonians and anemones on the upper hull plus school of snappers, sweetlips, batfish, scorpionfish, crocodilefish, lionfish. Do not miss the crane, the anti-aircraft gun, the gas mask, the engine room and the machinery of the crane. Greater than East Tangat Wreck, Teru Ks. Japanese Submarine Hunter, 30 meters, original Corrin East Tangat Wreck diving East Tangat as Corrin's second smallest wreck. After Lusong Gunboat, it rests straight on a slope between 4 and 20 meters deep. One of the best wrecks for macro, ghost pipefish, nudibranch, and you can see mandarin fish there during the day. Marine life. Covered with hard corals and anemones all over the boat plus platax. Sweetlips, scorpionfish, crocodilefish, lionfish, nudibranch, and sometimes nice macro. Ghostfish, ghost pipefish, pipefish. Certainly the most diving wreck, with Morazin, because everyone goes there, even in open water and baptism training. Be careful in high season. Do not miss the mandarin fish. Greater than Araco. Japanese refrigerated food cargo ship, 140 meters, original Corrin Araco Wreck Dive. Araco is a huge 140 meters long freighter, Corrin's second longest, which rests 44 meters deep. One of Corrin's 2 most impressive wrecks, along with Kyokuzen. It offers the best thrill penetrations for the most experienced kind in the almost total darkness at 36 meters deep. Marine life. Covered with corals, gorgonians and anemones all over the upper deck plus common grouper, giant trevally, school of snappers, schools of sardines, batfish, sweetlips, scorpionfish, crocodilefish. Lionfish. Do not miss the penetrations in the holds below 30 meters. If you have the level, the front of the boat, the turret support. Greater than Kogyo. Japanese cargo ship, 130 meters, original Corrin Kogyo Wreck Dive. A large cargo ship 130 meters long which rests lying on the left side 36 meters deep. All the holds can be visited and you can see some remains. The rest of a tractor, bags of cement, rolls of netting. One of the 2 wrecks with the most marine life, with Morazin, covered with corals, gorgonians and anemones on the upper hull plus giant trevally, school of trevally, school of snappers, schools of barracuda, schools of sardines, batfish, sweetlips, scorpionfish, crocodilefish. Lionfish, nudibranch. Do not miss. The marine life above the hull, the remains of the tractor, the engine room with the 2 boilers. Greater than Kyokuzen. Freighter, 136 meters. Corrin Kyokuzen wreck diving. Kyokuzen is a massive 136 meters long freighter, Corrin's 3rd longest, which rests 40 meters deep. One of Corrin's 2 most impressive wrecks, along with Araco. There is always at least 15 to 20 meters of visibility there. It offers very good, thrill penetrations. Marine life. Covered with corals. Gorgonians and anemones all over the upper deck, plus school of snappers, sweetlips, scorpionfish, batfish, crocodilefish, lionfish, nudibranch. Do not miss. Entry through the drive shaft at the back of the boat, the rest of the car, the rest of the small trucks, a tour of the kitchen with the vintage cups still on the floor. Greater than Morrison. Japanese cargo ship, 95 meters, original Corrin Morrison wreck dive, a 95 meters long freighter which lies lying on its right side at 26 meters deep. One of the most diving wrecks as it is accessible to open water divers, the upper part is 14 meters. One of the coolest penetrations for advanced divers. One of the 2 wrecks with the most marine life, with Kogyo, covered with corals, gorgonians and anemones on the upper hull, plus giant trevally, school of trevally, school of snappers, schools of barracuda, schools of sardines, batfish, sweetlips, scorpionfish, crocodilefish, lionfish, nudibranch. The main deck is covered with corals. Do not miss. The engine room with its 2 boilers, the upper deck with all its marine life. Greater than Nanshan. American oil tanker, 50 meters, original Corrin Nanshan wreck dive, a small 50 meters tanker that fell straight but leaned, the lowest part at 34 meters and the highest at 18 meters. The wreck with the better visibility of the entire Corrin area. Very few penetrations. To combine with a stop on the beautiful island of Black Island. Marine life. Covered with corals. Gorgonians and anemones all over the upper deck, plus platax, scorpionfish, crocodilefish, lionfish, sweetlips, nudibranch, pipefish, shrimp. Do not miss. The visibility. Greater than Okikawa. Japanese oil tanker, 160 meters. An oil tanker that fell straight to the ground at 26 meters with most of its deck between 12 and 16 meters. Corrin's longest wreck. It has one of the best penetrations of all wrecks, along with Araco. Probably the one with the greatest variety of marine life, big and macro, covered with corals. Gorgonians and anemones all over the upper deck, plus grouper, trevally, turtle, sweetlips, school of snappers, batfish, fish scorpion, crocodilefish, lionfish. Nudibranch, especially the blue dragon. Do not miss. The entry through the transmission shaft and the penetrations into the tanks and the various rooms of the ship. Greater than Olympia. Japanese cargo ship, 122 meters, original Corrin Olympia wreck diving, a large freighter 122 meters long which fell straight to the ground 30 meters deep. Perfect for a first wreck penetration dive. A large, open wreck that allows you to simply navigate inside its holds. More subject to the current than the others, we can have a lot of marine life. Covered with corals. Gorgonians and anemones all over the upper deck, plus giant trevally, school of trevally, school of snappers, batfish, sweetlips, scorpionfish, crocodilefish, lionfish, nudibranch. Do not miss. The room before and the front of the boat with the support of the turret. Greater than Lusong gunboat. Japanese patrol boat, 30 meters, original Corrin Lusong gunboat wreck diving. It is a very small wreck, about 30 meters, not deep, 10 meters max. Leaning, at low tide, it protrudes from the water. There is not much to see. Compared to the others, for me it's not a great wreck. I had to go twice in a year because I had no choice. Greater than skeleton wreck. Do not be fooled with skeleton wreck. This is not a wreck for diver. These are the remains of a wreck. The word skeleton defines it well. All snorkeling tours want to take you there to make you dream of diving, or seeing, a World War II wreck, but there is nothing left. Diving at Appo Reef from Corrin. From Corrin you can access Appo Reef. Diving Appo Reef, Philippines. School of Barracuda's second best destination in the Philippines, the first being Tubataha Reef, the second largest continuous coral formation in the world. Common marine life. Reef sharks. White tip on all dives. Large pelagics. Tuna, wrasse, giant trevally, humpback parrot. School of barracudas and trevally, from small to very large. Turtle. Not the star of Appo Reef, but we see them on every dive. Benches of fusiliers, butterflyfish, triggerfish, everywhere. Diving Appo Reef, Philippines. Shark. Possible meeting nice hammerhead shark. It is very, very rare to see it. Do not go to Appo Reef for that, you will be disappointed. Manta ray. There is no cleaning station, so nothing guaranteed. Eagle ray. Very random. We can see 10 on a trip like 0. Gray shark. There are some lying around, so it is quite possible to see some. Hammerhead shark season. January to March. Manta ray season. February to April. Visibility bed. 20 to 40 meters all year round. Recommended level. Advanced N2, but open water N1 can go. Diving Barracuda Lake, Corrin. After the wrecks of World War II, Barracuda Lake is arguably Corrin's best-known dive site. This freshwater volcanic lake indeed offers several features that make this dive quite unique. Diving Corrin, Philippines. Barracuda Lake. Experiment with a unique inverted thermocline, from 28 to 38 degrees. Lunar landscapes underwater. Experience the very rare phenomenon of halocline. Not shy cleaning shrimps that come to do your nails. Some fish that got lost. A single large barracuda in the lake. The landscape outside the lake is superb. We dive there without a wetsuit. The full article on Barracuda Lake here. Wreck diving. Diving with dugongs in Corrin. Corrin has an area where the very rare and endangered dugong can be found. On paper it looks great, but in reality it's a little more complicated than that. Diving Corrin, Philippines. Dugong. Corrin has an area where dugongs can be found. It is a kind of marine park protected and framed by rangers. Snorkeling or diving are possible. The area is located in the northwest of Busuanga Island, very far from Corrin town. Corrin town journey, round trip, 2 hours by van plus 5 hours by boat. 1 buoy for all bat. Waters. Organization. 4 people maximum with the dugong and 30 minutes maximum of interaction. Dive in Cathedral Cave. Corrin. At the very end of Corrin Island, you have a very unusual dive, Cathedral Cave. Diving Corrin, Philippines. Cathedral Cave. A submerged cave under the island of Corrin. A very small entrance. There is an opening in the cave allowing the sun to pass through, great play of light. We can surface in the cave during the dive. There is a second small cave at the bottom, where you can always find plenty of shrimp. A very nice dive to do. You can't go there all year round. Only from June to December, otherwise access is too difficult because of the waves. Cathedral Cave diving card. Diving map. Cathedral Cave, Corrin, Philippines. Cathedral Cave diving video in Corrin. Cathedral Cave diving photos in Corrin. Cathedral Cave, Corrin, Philippines. Cathedral Cave, Corrin, Philippines. Dive the Corrin reefs. Apart from the wrecks, Barracuda Lake and Cathedral Cave, there are other reef dives on Corrin. The 2 most fun are diving Corrin, Philippines. Siete Pecado. Small protected marine park, and you can see the difference, pretty corals. A greater variety of fish than elsewhere, and normally there is always a school of resident barracudas. Twin Peak. Very good visibility and a lot of fish. The other dives, Alcatraz Rock, Vivian Beach, CYC Beach, will not be very interesting for experienced divers but will be good training grounds for those in training. Marine life around Corrin. Clown, damselfish, parrot, angelfish, snapper, fusilier, and if you are lucky, turtles are also present. Dive north of Busuanga Island. Almost all the dive centers are in Coron town or in the south of Busuanga near the wrecks. But there are also dives in the north of the island. The dives from the north are richer in corals and fish than those in Coron Bay. Apart from Siete Picado and Twin Peaks, and above all the visibility is much better, 15 to 20 meters all year round. Diving training in Corrin. Have a baptism or open water in Corrin. Corrin, Philippines. Diving course. Corrin with its lakes and lagoons attracts a lot of backpackers wondering if they will not start diving in Corrin. Quite honestly, after a year spent there, this is not necessarily the place I would recommend in first to someone for their open water or for a baptism. Very few centers have a swimming pool. The visibility is not the best in the world. The marine life is not necessarily abundant. The sites are rather far away, so it's been long days on the boat. Afterwards, as a new diver, you won't notice the difference, so if you are planning to start diving in Corrin, go for it. If you want lessons in French, it will be at French Kiss Divers or Corto Divers. Take your advanced or a diving specialty.